Lessons from Behind My Chair is a podcast that aims to fill your cup with a fresh squeezed dose of clarity, courage, and bliss. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as rate the show 5 stars and review wherever you listen to podcasts. Now, let's get into the show.
Hey, love. Welcome back to another episode of Lessons from Behind My Chair. I'm your host, Angela B. Fuller, Master Hairstylist turned Certified Life Coach. Today, we have a juicy topic lined up for you. Today, I'm going to be talking about the power of transformation. You know, so many times we talk about how we're not pleased with how our life is unfolding, how things are working out, how our body looks, how our wardrobe looks, how the shoes in the closet just not kicking it anymore, how the food we eat is just not satisfying our taste bud. Well, today we are going to address that, and we are also going to talk about how powerful we can feel by just making the decision to transform. And I know a lot of times people think about transformation as some big, awesome thing, when really and truly it's just about making a decision. First of all, recognizing that you're not happy where you are, how you living. And then deciding that I'm going to do something different. I am going to transform how I go through life. I'm going to transform how the thoughts I allow myself to think. I'm going to transform the company in which I keep. And once you can pinpoint you're not pleased with a thing, at least you have a blueprint on where you need to start, what it needs to entail, and how long you're going to give yourself to get to the other side. So, but before we dive into this juicy episode, I have a pop question for you. If you could, and I've asked this question before, but I just love it. If you could wave a magic wand and create the life that you want for yourself, how would that look? And I want you to ponder that. I even want you to take it a step further, and I want you to write out on paper what that looks like. Because I believe that once, a matter of fact, science shows that when you write something down, you are 70% more likely to achieve whatever it is you write down. So I'm going to challenge you to write down how your life would look if you had the power by the wave of a wand to make it happen. So I want you to think on that. And while you're thinking on that, let's dive in to the power of transforming your life. As I said before, what you want to do is first come to the, first of all, recognize that something needs to change. Once you recognize something needs to change, then you can decide, not only am I going to change it, but the route I'm going to take to change it, the steps that I am going to put in place to change it. And I think the first place to begin is to make the decision. The next thing, I think you ought to start working on your mindset. And by that, I mean simply in all basic terms, start with your attitude on how you feel about yourself, your life, your friends, your clothing, your lifestyle, your job. Even if it's not working for you, even if it's not the best where it can be, try to extract something positive out of that. Create a positive attitude around okay, my life is not where I want it to be. It's not the best that I want it to be. But the mere fact that I am working on changing it should elevate your attitude towards it. The next thing, you've got to believe that it can happen. You got to believe that you deserve it. Even if you're not feeling that belief in the moment, I think once you begin to tell yourself that I can have it, then over time, you will begin to believe that you can. And then I want you to stay on the path of commitment. Stay committed to the change until you see the change. I'm going to say that again. Stay committed to the change until you see the change. Because all commitment is staying with a thing long after the feeling, the emotions that you had when you said it, long after the emotions have subsided. You want to stay with it until you see the change. And of course, with any type of change, if we put God in it, you best believe the change is going to come. So with that, stay in prayer. Pray and ask God to help you, show you signs, leave certain clues. Meditate on that. Meditate and pray. Meditate and pray. And that's going to help sustain you when disbelief starts to set in. But disbelief is going to set in. That's just the human experience. But if you're grounded with your prayer, if you're grounded with listening to God through meditation, it will pull you up when things start to feel like it's not going to happen. And you also want to incorporate your physical health, just moving your body, exercising, eating right, taking care of that skin. So when you look in that mirror, you're pleased with what you see. And then every now and then, hey, throw on a little lipstick, throw on a little eyeliner, put on a little mascara, anything that's going to help shift how you see yourself, shift how you approach the changes that you're working towards. And we've got to keep our emotions intact. And sometimes that could very well mean when you're feeling down, calling on a friend, dialing up a friend. It may even mean considering getting a therapist to help you work through your past childhood trauma. Because when you talk about transformation, you're talking about the whole being. You're just not talking about changing your hairstyle. You're not just talking about putting on a new outfit. You want to embody your entire self so that you can create a more lasting transformation. And I'm going to tell you something. A lot of times with us, if our money ain't right, we ain't right. Because feeling lack, living in a scarce mentality, a scarce mindset, that could pull you down even if your life is looking right. Even if you're pleased with the direction that your life is going, if the finances is not right, that'll bring you down quicker than even necessary. So work on your finances. Start saving money. Start living within your means. Stop all the splurging. Try and be more conscious, more aware of what finances you have coming in. Look at your expenses, budget it out. So at the end of the month, you still have money. You don't have more month than you do money. So stay on top of your finances. And I know another thing that I've found that's been so helpful for me is my willingness to share with people who I know love me, people who I know I can trust, sharing my story, telling them how I'm feeling, my willingness to be vulnerable so that I can, so that I don't have to hold all of that heaviness within me. And you'd be surprised that once you start to share your story, share your feelings, share your goal with someone who you know cares about you, you'd be surprised how that person could very well open up and share the journey that they're on. And it will blow your mind, the chemistry, the trust, the double portion of trust, the double portion of spark that's created. So instead of it's just you putting your energy into moving your life forward and into transforming, you've got another human being transforming right along with you. And I'm going to tell you something, having someone in your corner and you being in someone else's corner, both of y'all are trying to achieve a worthwhile goal or a worthwhile transformation. The power of that synergy gets you there a whole lot faster. So, I hope you've enjoyed something that I've said in this conversation. And if so, share it out to someone who you think can benefit. Wherever you listen to podcasts, be willing to share it out to that individual. And I tell you what, I'd be so ever grateful. I know that whatever it is you're trying to achieve, I know that in whatever area you are trying to transform in your life, I know that is possible. I know that is something that you could do because I believe in you. If I can do it, you can do it. I believe in you, and I'll see you on Wednesday for our mini-sode fresh squeezed dose to get you through the rest of the week. Okay? Bye! Mwah.
Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to follow along on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, all at Angela B. Fuller, and join us every Sunday morning at 7 for new episodes. Okay? Bye!